We all know our next speaker, Dr. Vito Campese. He is, of course, our president, and we welcome him. He's a professor of medicine and physiology, and he's the chief of the section of nephrology and hypertension at the University of Southern California. In his career, he had so many academic and administrative appointments that it's really difficult to list all of them. But I want just to say that for many years, he was a member of the promotion committee at the University of Southern California. So I think he is the best person to tell us how to negotiate our promotions and our troubles in a career negotiation. So thanks, Dr. Campese, for being with us.
Thank you. Can I get the first slide? I must tell you that Chiara called me less than a week ago and told me, guess what? Non rompere la mia... Un elmetto, per favore. C'è tutto pericoloso questo qua. Oh, okay.
No, lo so che qua, questo qua, ISSNAF.
No, it's where is it? No, ISSNAF.
Oh, that's
yeah.
yours?
Science career present. No.
This one? This
How
one?
to succeed? Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay. Don't throw away the emblem. They may kick me out of the university. All right, that's okay. Thank you. Chiara called me less than a week ago and said, guess what, you're giving a talk on how successful to negotiate your positions and promotions. So on my plane here, I had to put together a few thoughts on this particular subject. It's true that I have a little bit of experience on promotion committees, so probably I can give you a few hints, practical hints on how to behave when you apply for promotion. But before we start with promotion, talk about promotion, let's start with the finding when you find a new position, okay? First of all, good news. Remember, there are lots of jobs available out there. Every time I have to recruit junior faculty or somebody in my lab, it's amazing to find out it's not easy to find jobs. You really need to find people. You really need to advertise, look around, start calling your friends all over the country to find somebody. So if you think of this, your approach should be exactly the opposite. In other words, put in your position of the idea there are lots of jobs out there, just it's up to you to go and find them where they are, okay? So how can you do that? All right, first of all, shape up your CV and make it look very, very professional. It matters to have a good CV in front of you, a very clear CV that identifies all the important components of your CV. Look for advertisement in all specialized journals. That's an important resource. Call all your friends around the country and ask them, is there anything happening in your division, in your institution? When you go to meetings, look for ads in the meeting. This is also a common way of trying to find the jobs. If you have a poster presentation, some of you gave a poster presentation today, in my view, these are a unique opportunity to interact with people. When you give a oral presentation, you are here, the rest of the world is out there. They will ask you usually a couple of nasty questions. When, on the other hand, you interact in front of a poster, it's a different opportunity for you because you can talk one-to-one with individuals. You look at their badge, look where they work, look what they are doing, get curious. If you're looking for a job, that is the right time to make you known, but also to identify potential people that can hire you. Let people know that you are thinking to move. I mean, people have got to know you want to move. Otherwise, why they would ask you to, why they would give you a job. Never appear desperate, okay? If you are not happy where you are, okay, be quiet. Never talk badly about your current position. Never. It backfires. Listen to me, this is a key point. Never talk bad, even if you may hate your boss, doesn't matter. Keep quiet. You want to change because you want to find new opportunity, you want to foster your career, you want to move on in your life, not because you don't like your boss or you don't like what you're doing where you are. Interviews. Now, if you get lucky and they call you for an interview, the do's and don'ts of your interview. Don't try to appear something else than what you are. Somebody who's done interviews for a long time, like myself, it takes 5 minutes to know whether you are faking, you're not faking, you're trying to make up story, or not. So appear what you are. Be frank, be honest, okay? Be prepared. Don't go there without knowing the person who's going to interview you. Do your own work. Get on the internet. Click the name of the interview, see what they are up to, what they are doing. Usually citing one of the articles may be helpful to show that you read the literature, you are sharp. Don't overdo, though, because it may backfire. Don't make, in Italians we call it liquors or something like that. Don't appear somebody like that. Don't be condescending. Gli assegni sono nella mia borsa. Okay. We just came from a war zone on the other side. We are trying to decide the winners among you, and it's not easy because I must really congratulate all of you. You've done a fantastic job. It's really a terrible headache. I mean, it's a fight going on in the other room, I'll tell you. Because okay. Explain who you are, and you can do what you can do, and don't try to ask questions such as, what can you do for me when I come here, all right? You ask question, or you try to ask, how can I help the program when I come here, if I come here? So not what you can do for me, all right? Many times I interview residents, applicants, and so on and so forth, and there is a tendency, particularly among American residents, to ask, well, if I come here, you know, what are you going to give to me, in other words, all right? So don't take that attitude. Always try to show that you are available to help the program. The don'ts. Do not use expression like, I'm looking for this or looking for that when I come here, what I was just saying. Remember, you are the seller and not the buyer, and not the buyer. It makes a big difference, okay? If you go and buy a pair of shoes, then you can pick and choose. You say, well, what shoes you have, what shoes you don't. If you are, on the other hand, a seller, then you cannot be that choosy, all right? You try to sell your own stuff, your own shoes. And you try, that's what you should do. Try to sell your own shoes. You sell yourself. And so again, what you can do for the other person, not what the interviewer can do for you. As I said, never talk badly about your current job. Do not oversell yourself. Do not be too complacent. Do not talk about money at the first visit. Okay, let whoever interviews you bring up the issue of monetary compensation. When that comes, don't be shy. In Italy, at least myself, in my generation, we never asked for money. The word money was forbidden in our environment. Where in the United States, things are different. All right? Always when I fly, I read on United Airlines, one of these throwaway magazines, a businessman that says, in business, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. That's a phrase that really sticks to my mind. In business, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. So you must negotiate. When it comes to, when you see that the other part is ready to give you a job. So don't be shy. All right, enough with applying for jobs. Promotions. All right, when you want to be promoted, then we all want to be promoted in life, there are some essential principles we need to understand. First of all, you need to do your own work. When you decide, well, I deserve to go from assistant professor to associate professor, first of all, review carefully the requirement for promotion at your institution. They're all there, written on paper. How many years of services in general are required, the necessary documentation, the number of publications required. Do not have unreasonable expectations. remember that a satisfactory performance at the current level is considered the norm and not the basis for a promotion. So in order to be promoted, you need to make a case and provide evidence that they are doing way beyond what is required to be a normal performer in your institution. Keep that in mind, all right? Promotion means a promotion. Discuss your intention to apply for a promotion with your supervisor before you prepare an application. Because you prepare the application and then you go to your supervisor and say, hey, by the way, I have prepared an application for promotion. That doesn't sound too good. If your chair tells you, well, you know what, it's not time yet, okay? You're not ready for it. Wait 1 year, 2 years, don't get excited, don't get upset, and more importantly, do not fight it. If you want to die, you fight it. Remember, without your chair approval, you will get nowhere. So you must negotiate with your chair. More important thing is, you ask your chair, why you think I'm not ready for promotion now? If he says, well, I think you're not promotion, you ask, what does it take to be promoted? 1 more year, 5 more publications, participation to more committees, more teaching, better teaching, what does it take? So in other words, have him helping you and guiding you in deciding what is necessary for achieving your promotion. Preparing an application, this is another critical aspect. The onus is on you to provide adequate information and evidence to the promotion committee that you deserve a promotion. You need to clearly substantiate and provide evidence of your performance in relation to the criteria that define merit at your institution. Remember, not all institutions are the same. Many institutions have different requirements. If you have to be promoted from assistant professor to associate professor at Harvard, it's not the same thing as to being promoted from assistant professor to associate professor to some other university. We'll mention names so we don't offend anybody. But different institutions have a different criteria, and you need to know that so you don't have false expectations. Curriculum, the do's and don'ts. Okay? Once again, be honest. Don't fake things. The curriculum needs to be organized according to guidelines of your institution. Again, do your homework. Get to know what are the requirements. There are offices in every institution that tells you how to structure a curriculum on the basis of what the promotion committee requires. Otherwise, the CV will come back, will be bounced back, and you have lost now another 2-3 months. Okay. Clearly state your teaching, research, administrative, and for the clinician, also the clinical activities. Those have to be clearly stated, how much time you spend in each of these components. Present documentation of our evaluation by students, postdoc, etc. It's better if the evaluation are anonymous. Don't come with pieces of paper in your hand to you by a student, a postdoc, or a friend. Nobody will read those evaluations. Nobody does. I guarantee you, I don't. All right? So, unless the evaluations are anonymous, they carry 0 weight. Document collaborations, lectures, oral presentation, a national, international meeting. Participation to committee are of some importance, minimal importance, I must say, unless you have made huge contributions within a committee, transforming the way that committee is operating, or the way that committee has come up with some recommendations that made a difference at your institution. So basically, most of the time, participation to committees is a waste of time, but it's a necessary thing to show that you are a good citizen at your institution. Don'ts. Do not overstate your achievement. It's very common, people in their among their peer review, they list also letters to the editors and so on and so forth. I mean, trashy type of publications. I'm not saying all letters to the editor are trash, but several of them are. They certainly are not to be compared with a peer review publication. It doesn't show well if you again try to overstate anything, because people who are evaluating you, you are usually older than you are, more experienced, they've been through all these things, they know the ropes, and you don't fool them. You just don't. More important, again, do not lie on your CV. Many people do lie on their CV, and most of the time it backfires. Okay, if you're on the clinical track, the few of you in this room who are on the clinical track, most institutions now give a tenure track and the clinical track or teaching track. Clinical track is usually non-tenure track. So you get promoted from assistant to associate to full professor, but these are non-tenure positions. So only the people who are on the tenure track will eventually achieve tenures, and these are usually people who do basic research. To be promoted in this track, you need to show excellence in at least 2 of 3 areas among clinical skills, teaching, and research. If you have no evidence of excellence in 2 of these 3 areas, usually you don't get promoted. If you're on the research track, the decision to recommend an applicant on the research track for promotion is on ability to demonstrate active and productive research, the quality of the research, number of publications, how many publications you have first or last authors. If you have 30 publications and none of those you are first or last authors, the committee is going to look at that. Well, he's really not a leader in his field. He's following somebody else. So make sure, as you progress in your career, to show that you are eventually an independent or about to become an independent investigator, you must have your name first or last author. Development of local, national, international collaboration, that usually fares very well in the eyes of the committee. That means that you have an open mind, you are collaborating with others, and also it means that you are taken into consideration also by other people around the world. Success, you show also evidence of success in supervision of students and postdoc, how many publications they have, what type of career they have structured. This also is taken into consideration. And obviously, money is the name of the game. How much money, how much grant money you bring to the institution. If you have no NIH grants now in the field of medicine and you want to be on the tenure track, you are wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You are not going to get the promotion. And actually, you can get promotion from assistant to associate professor of medicine, at least in my institution, if you have 1 NIH grant. But if you have not had confirmation over time of this NIH grant, you will never get a tenure these days. So it's become tougher and tougher in most institutions. So how much money you bring in, mostly federal money. You know why the federal money is so precious, because the overhead is about 65% across institution. Money from grants, foundation, the overhead is 25%. So that's why university, they don't look that favorably to private money as they do at federal money. It's an issue of prestige because it helps in your ranking, national ranking, but most importantly, it's an issue of money. Referees. This is a very critical area you should pay attention to. Why? You need to nominate a referee, give the names, the contact, a brief statement of why that person has to be chosen as a referee, the standing of the referee in your discipline, field of profession. Now, select referees of standing in your discipline who know you, or if they don't know you, they know well your work. And you are confident they will give you a favorable opinion. You may go and give a referee name of Nobel Prize, and then Nobel Prize may decide, yeah, I'll write a letter for this candidate. But if that Nobel Prize is going to kill you with a letter, don't choose the Nobel Prize, to write you. The fact that the Nobel Prize writes you a letter is no guarantee you're going to get the promotion. So the selection of referee, it's a very critical step in establishing an effective promotion. Remember that a lukewarm letter, a letter that is not enthusiastic, will kill you. One single letter may kill you. Will not kill you, but it may kill you. Okay? So you need to be very careful in selecting who is going to write your letter. And in this also, again, your mentor, your supervisor can be of great help in telling you, you write a letter to this individual, not to the other individual, because that other individual cannot stand me, and he may kill you not because he doesn't like you or what you're doing. He may kill you because he doesn't like me. He won't tell you that, but he will advise you to stay away from that particular individual. So letters should be confidential. Once again, letters that are not confidential, nobody reads them. I don't, and I think nobody else does. Letters from your friends in your department carry no weight, all right? We all know in the department, if you have a letter from your department, somebody who's your colleague in your own division, that person is not going to write bad things about you, so they carry very little weight. So the ingredients to be successful here, I've listed them. Your overall ability and achievement, certainly. Here in the United States, there remains the name of the game. Who you are, what you accomplish, it's the name of the game. And that's why most of us have come and stayed in the United States. Now, it's also important another aspect, and that is your ability to sell your achievement. Salesmanship is very important. Again, I don't like the faking, but your ability to transmit your enthusiasm in what you are doing, make people to understand what you are doing, it goes a long way in also helping you in your career. You are being judged not just by what you write, but what you say and how you say in scientific meetings. All the people value by that. And I've seen people equally valid scientifically on paper. You put them on a podium and you see scientist A that cannot transmit, cannot communicate, and candidate B who can transmit, communicate. Candidate B wins all the time. The third ingredient is luck, okay? And that's why I close by wishing all of you a good luck, a great luck, and enjoy the rest of the meeting.